I was a kid who liked money. That's all. I was very curious about it. I went to a rich kid's school, mostly white kids. And they were rich, and the Asians were poor. So I kept wondering, how come one race is rich? Why is one race poor? And so I smelled a rat, and I thought the rat was school. And I kept asking my teachers, when am I going to learn about money? And they gave me this bullshit. The love of money is the root of all evil. But that was their way of preventing me from getting rich, by telling me if I wanted to get rich, I wasn't going to go to heaven. I'm only 10 years old, And so I kept asking my poor dad, I said, well, how do I learn about money? He says, I don't know, because he's a professor. And, professors are poor people, but they teach kids. So he says, why don't you ask your best friend's father? I said, who's that? He says, Mike. I said, why should I ask Mike, father? He's going to be a rich man. I said, why is he going to be a rich man? So my poor dad said, Mike's father is an entrepreneur. And I said, so what are you? I'm only 10 years old, right? He says, I'm an employee. I said, what's the difference between entrepreneur and employee? And my poor dad said, well, an entrepreneur has to know about money. I said, yeah. And what about an employee like you? He says, I have a job. And then I started to hear it. Go to school, get a job, get a job, get a job. I'm going, school's lying to me. And I said, I don't want a job. And that's how the whole thing started. So when I was 10, I just started studying with my rich dad. And I was 10 years old, ride my bicycle to his office. And I had to work for him for free. So he ran a hotel. And I had to pick up rubbish and work, doing odd jobs. And Rich Dad never paid me. He said, if I pay you, you think like an employee. But my dad works for money. He says, yeah, but that's why your dad's poor. He says, never work for this. This is what keeps people poor. But being 10 years old, I was more confused now. So I had to work for Rich Dad, and finally I started to understand things. Like I'd work for free. He'd play Monopoly with me. So I'm going, why am I playing Monopoly? He says, because you're learning to be rich. I said, I'm playing Monopoly, so you learn to be rich. And so I played Monopoly and got home. My poor dad said, what you been doing all day? You been studying? I said, no, I've been playing Monopoly. Oh, what a waste of time. Do your homework. If you don't do your homework, you don't get good grades, you won't get a good job. I was so confused. And then one day I asked my rich dad, I said, why am I playing Monopoly? He goes, see all those properties out there? He says, I play Monopoly for real, in real life. I go, you do what? He said, I play Monopoly in real life. Because he never went to school either. He played Monopoly. The idea of Monopoly is to trade up from green houses to red hotel using debt. Everything is opposite of what those school teachers will teach you. So my poor dad always says, stay out of debt. My rich dad said, use debt. You see, everything is opposite. And that's why most school teachers, I don't listen to them. If you tell me you went to Harvard or Yale, I check out. Look at the biggest crooks in America, all professors. This guy, Ben Bernanke, he was U.S. Federal Reserve Bank chief. He ripped off this whole country. And he's a PhD from Princeton. He not only bailed out the rich, he bailed out many European and Asian countries. Right. They bail out the rich. They let the poor and middle class die. I don't trust college professors. They're poor people with a degree. So all these people who go to school to get a job and they save money and they invest in the stock market, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. I don't touch any of that stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I don't have to. I'm an entrepreneur. Employees have to save money, get out of debt, buy a house, and invest in the stock market. I'm an entrepreneur. I buy the gold mine. I get the gold. Most employees cannot buy the gold mine. I buy the silver mine. I buy the real estate. I buy the hotels. I am a capitalist. I'm an entrepreneur. So right now, many people can't afford to eat anymore. Yeah, the homeless people in America, some of them are drugs, obviously. A lot of them just can't afford a house because this is toilet paper. Today, slums are everywhere across America. One of my best pieces of real estate is in Portland, Oregon. So in Portland, Oregon, I bought this huge apartment house, and my friends and I converted it to condominiums. And we thought we made a fortune. We did. But we couldn't get people in there because the government of Oregon allowed homeless people to build houses all around our property. So the tenants couldn't drive onto the property. Then San Francisco went down. Washington went down. San Francisco used to be the most beautiful city in America, in my opinion. Now you don't walk in the streets because it's like the slums of Mumbai. There's a thing called Pareto's principle. It's called the 80-20 rule. So like 80% of the people are poor, 20% are rich. The reason there's such a gap is our schools teach us to work for this. Go to school, get a job, work hard, pay taxes, save money, buy a house, and put your money in the stock market. I don't touch any of that. I'm an entrepreneur. I own 15,000 houses. There's nothing wrong with buying a house. Yeah. Difference is I use debt to buy it, and I pay no taxes. It's not the house. It's not the stock. It's not the bond. It's not the ETF. It's your brains. So I would rather use debt and pay no taxes. So when I go to a bank and I say I want to borrow $20 million, I get huge tax breaks because I'm creating money. So the first thing I would do is I'd come here, I'd hire an accountant and attorney, and then I would evaluate your markets. And then I would buy or not buy. Like I don't own any property in California because it's a communist state. I own nothing in New York City, communist, okay? But I own in Arizona and Texas. The laws are different. So you have to know the laws. You can't be stupid. Everybody wants the easy answer. They want to win the lottery. They want to be a soccer star. They want to be a Bollywood star. And as you said already, they're broke in 10 years. But if I'm poor, no money, no honey, no wife, no health, unhappiness. I fly all over the world. I have my own private jet. I'm a lot happier. I stand in line at Mumbai airport. I'm not happy. I have a Lear 60. I just climb on, gone. I wrote a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant, ESBI. E stands for employee. Go to school, get a job. Teachers. S stands for smart people, doctor, lawyer. Oh, become a doctor, become a doctor. Employees pay 40% in taxes. S's pay 60%. You have B stands for big business, 20% tax. I stands for insider. I only invest from the inside. I don't invest from outside, legally. So Elon Musk is a B and an I. I'm a B and an I. Steve Jobs was E, B, and I. Tata, big B and I. It's a mindset. The number one skill of an entrepreneur is how to sell. So when I was a pilot. I flew for the U.S. Marine Corps in Vietnam. Okay. I was shot down 3 times. But I came back, my rich dad says, you have to learn how to sell. I said, good, I'll learn how to sell. The second thing I had to learn was how to buy real estate for nothing. I took real estate courses. I'm like 26, 27 years old, learning how to buy real estate for nothing. There's good teachers out there. But if you hang out with stupid teachers, you can be stupid like them. Right. I don't have friends with master's degrees. I hang friends with financial statements who are rich. Information's out there. You just have to search for it. You can ask my friends. I study constantly, every day, all day. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not working for money. That's why the one book is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Second book is Cash Flow Quadrant. You can read that. Then I created the cash flow board game. The reason it's better than going to school, it's about a financial statement. You see, my bankers never once asked me what my grades were. My bankers never asked me what college I went to. My banker wants to see my financial statement. My financial statement is my report card. Right. When I grow up. That's right. Most college professors never grow up. They're little kids yet. I got a PhD. I got a PhD. I got a PhD. Yeah. I got a financial statement. So what happened in 2008, when the markets crashed, I borrowed $300 million. You know why? Because all the real estate had crashed. Okay. So we took my financial statement and showed it to the banks. So how much money do you want? Tax-free money. We bought almost $1 billion worth of real estate because it crashed. Right. So when I tell people the market's crashing, I get excited because everything goes on sale. That's like Ferrari saying we'll put our cars at half price. Oh, no, I don't want to pay half price for a Ferrari. That's how stupid people are. Your job is to educate yourself because schools are not going to do that for you. It's a game we play. I don't play golf because golf you got to be by yourself. I play team sports. It's a completely opposite mindset from teachers. Teachers want to be the smartest person by themselves. I don't want to be the smartest person, but I want to have smart people around me, honest people. Choose your people around you carefully, study. Do you understand? It's just what do you want? What do you guys want? That's the question.